But we're going to just kind of kick things right off. And I think the way we're first going to kick things off is with an exercise that I teach a lot. I teach this exercise maybe far too much, but it's one of my favorites, all-time favorite exercises. And it's something that I think is so beneficial to you and your chord changes that I will continue to teach it and train it. I want you to get a metronome, okay? There are a bunch of free metronomes online that you can feel free to use, but I want you to get a metronome and I want you to set it to 4 clicks, okay? We're going to set that off to the side while we're doing that because we need to figure out what progression we're going to be working with together in order to really understand how to play this and how to cook in chords. Know that I'm going to teach you a 4-chord progression. These exercises, they are able to be used with any chord changes, whether it's one chord, whether it's one to another chord, so just 2 chords, 4 chords, 8 chords, different chords, 7 chords, 9 chords, 13 chords, any of them. You can apply the principles of this practice tip that I'm going to give you across the board in these exercises to any of them. So at any point, if you struggle to change from one chord to another, use these exercises. But let's learn with some ones we're familiar with. Let's learn with E minor first. Open E, 2nd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, open G, open B, open E. That's our E minor. Next chord we're going to be switching to is A minor. We don't play the low E string. We play the open A, 2nd fret of the D, 2nd fret of the G, 1st fret of the B string, open E. So far we have E minor, A minor. Our next one is C major. It's great because from A minor, you just have to move your ring finger to a different spot. That's it. So we don't play our low E, 3rd fret on the A, 2nd fret on the D, open G, 1st fret on the B, open E. So far we have E minor, A minor, C major, and we're going to end on the full version of G major. I'm taking you there. The full version of G major. 3rd fret of our low E, 2nd fret of the A, open D, open G, 3rd fret of B, 3rd fret of E. So with this whole progression, we have E minor, A minor, C major, G major. Okay, that's it. But don't think we can only do these exercises with these chords. That's not the case. So they apply to everything. What I want you to do to master that progression so that you can change those 4 chords effortlessly from one to the next, you will pull out the metronome I instructed you to get. You will set it to a low BPM, something like 85 beats per minute. You will have it in a 4 count, like so. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The first version of this exercise, we are going to strum the chord we want to strum on click 1. And then we will use clicks 2, 3, and 4 to change to the next chord so that on beat 1, we play the next chord. So in other words, we're playing for 1 click and we're moving to the next chord to get ready for that downbeat of 1 for the next chord. I will show you exactly what this would sound like. Okay? You get the feeling, you get the understanding of what we're doing here. But what is the next step? What do we do next, and how do we continue to grow here? Well, the next step is that I'm going to change the pitch so you can get a good idea here. You hear those first 2 clicks and how they're different? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got that right. You're going to hold that chord for 2 clicks after you master the first exercise. And you're going to take 2 clicks only now to change to the next. So you get the idea here, and I hope you get the idea at this point. But basically what we're doing here is we are slowly shortening the gap that we have between chord changes by gradually doing it. So we did that too. Once you master that, you hold it for 3 and change on the last click. Right? So you can think of this almost as E minor change, A minor change, C major change, G major change. So we're holding it for a longer period of time. And from there, we then get to the point of mastery at that BPM, where we're holding it for all 4 and switching on 1. And once you get there, you start over again because you up the beats per minute. And then you start at 1 again. And then you hold for 2 and you hold for 3. This is one of the best exercises I learned throughout my entire college experience in classical guitar. It has helped drastically in complex chord changes specifically. There are so many hard chord changes that happen in classical guitar where one finger's here, one is here, one is here, one's back there, and you have to grab that in one click. The way I mastered it was starting from here and going there in these variations of exercises. So I recommend doing that first and foremost. That is our 4-count challenge. And I recommend, again, starting with 1 hold, 2-click hold, 3-click hold, 4, up the BPM, start over. Up the BPM, start over. It's a gradual process, but you have to make sure you're doing it clean and even. Don't lie to yourself. I recommend being able to do it at least 10 times clean and even before you raise that BPM.